Hello, nurses. Welcome back to Staff Development Nurse. I am Nurse Courtney, and for those of you who are returning, thank you so much for tuning back in. And if you are a new viewer, thank you so much for watching. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about really quick tips that you can implement and put in place in your building to help create an organized hanging file folder system. Now, this video has been inspired by a recent consultant job that I did. I actually was called into a local nursing facility because they just needed help on getting their files, their documents organized and creating systems, processes, and flows. And so these tips that I'm giving you, I saw were a reoccurring theme throughout that building. So you can easily implement these and put these in place. Now, I think it's going to be easier for you to understand if you actually visually see how I organize those folders. So what I'm going to do is switch to a clip where I'm going to show you the hanging file folders and walk you through the process of getting them organized. But before I go, I wanted to make sure that you like and subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so that anytime a new video goes up, you're alerted, and that you can always visit me at staffdevelopmentnurse.com. All right, so as promised, I want to show you the organization system. All right, so the first thing you should make sure you do when you have a file folder organization system is make sure that all of your tabs are in a straight line, okay? What a lot of people do is they like to stagger their tabs across, and that's just not easy for anyone to see, right? Your eyes have to constantly scan back and forth, when the reality is it's much easier for our eyes to look in a straight linear line, okay? And you can clearly see here, I don't have all of these labeled, but it's much easier to see all of the tabs, all of the forms, right? When you're going through, you literally can grab the tabs to cycle through, okay? And it just makes it easier so that you or your staff don't miss or skip over a document that's actually there. The other thing that you can do, you don't have to do, but I would recommend it, is that whatever organization system you're using, you basically will highlight each section. So this obviously is in alphabetical order, all right? And so what I've done is all of my A files are behind A, all of my B files are with B, all my C are with C, and so on and so forth. This makes it even easier for your team to find what they need. Now, instead of looking through all of these just to get to C, I only have to go A, B, oh, nope, I need C files, okay? I need C files. So I can go to C. I can even separate my D files that I don't need. And now I only have to look at this section right here, instead of looking at this whole section, okay? So it makes it quick, easier, and simpler. The next thing is make sure that all of your tabs are clearly labeled. They're legible. People can read exactly what's on the tab. It can be handwritten, it can be typed. Either one works. The biggest thing, they have to be able to read what's there. Next, make sure your tabs are clear. Do not use colored tabs. Colored tabs makes it so much harder for people to see what is written underneath of them. So don't use colored tabs, use clear tabs. The next tip is try to make sure your tabs are the same height and same width, right? They don't have to necessarily be the same brand, but keeping your tabs consistent is going to keep it neat and streamlined. You don't have to worry about one tab towering over top of another tab, right? Because that can make it easier to miss or skip something as well. All right, number 5, make sure you have some organization system in place. For example, our organization system we're using is in alphabetical order, okay? But you don't have to use that organization system. You can do an organization system that is by the month of the year, right? So instead of these being A, B, C, and D, you do January, February, March, April, right? It could be through the days of the month, right? 1 through 31. You pick whatever system is going to make most sense for the documents and files that you're organizing, okay? Now, I want to talk about doing a color-coded system, because you can do a color-coded system. Okay. But what I would recommend is if you're going to do a color-coded system, make sure those colors are in the file folders themselves, right? Because we already talked about the tabs needing to be clear. Okay, so here's a couple ways you can do this. Say, for example, I'm a director of nursing. I have a couple floors and units, and I want to use a file folder system to collect all of my end of the month forms. And I get the same exact forms from every single floor. Okay, I have form A, B, C, and D. Okay, and I know that all of these red file folders are for first floor. Okay, I have form A, B, C, and D. And all of these green file folders are for second floor, right? So on and so forth. This is one way you can do this system. Now, you may be saying, Courtney, listen, I have a building where I'm responsible for 7 or 8 units, and I may not want to write out form A 7 or 8 times. Well, you don't have to do it. So another way that you can organize the system, okay, I'm just going to prep my files really quickly and take out some of these tabs here so it's easier for you to see. Okay, so what you also can do is say, look, here's form A. Anything in red is first floor, anything in green is second floor. Here's form B. Anything red is first floor, anything in green is second floor, right? And so on and so forth. So if you have 7 different floors or units or however many you have, you simply can put 5 or 6 different colored file folders behind here and just keep that consistently going. And you know your system. You know that each color represents a different floor or unit, right? So you can easily do it that way too. So I hope that you got a good visual explanation of how you can organize all of your files, just to make sure you have a streamlined system in place for your staff and your team to be able to follow and easily find the documents and forms that they need.